Much love. Back at it again. And salute to my soldiers and soldierettes. And I always call down that protection from my great creator. Because I'm in this. And I'm true with this. And straight from the heart with this. And I give honor and thanks to my mom and my dad. And may my dad forever rest in peace and in power. And may his spirit and my granddad and my grandmother's spirit forever live on through me. And may my grandparents also forever live in power and in peace. And I thank my soldiers and soldierettes that take the time out of your day and listen to EBX Cares, because I truly care all day, every day. And let's get into this. We all know what we're here for. Black is a frequency, not a color. My brothers and sisters, black is a frequency, not a color. Now how do we know that black is a frequency? Well, for one, you keep living, live life, get out of the box that they try to put us in. Like I always like to say, go on the outside of that perimeter, and you will see that black is a frequency and not a color. And you have to go deep within. It's always going to come back to going within yourself. Because as we know, especially these days, a lot of stuff that's on the outside ain't nothing but straight distractions. And you have to focus on your inner self, your inner circle, your family. And that word friend is kind of iffy. But when you're an empath and you care about everybody in your inner circle, you care about those too. You know that they might, you don't know how you visualize them, but they might think of you as a friend. I'm talking about these are the ones that's kind of on the outside, that's wanting to do right and maybe in a confused state. This is for you. No, you don't have to be confused. You change what you can change, and you work on what looks like you can't change, because everything is a challenge. And that leads into what I want to talk about is our language. Our language has a lot to do with us staying within our black frequency. Now, when I talk about black frequencies, of course, I'm dealing with my black people, my African people of the land, because I'm a black man. So, and to me, my black community is at the root, and I'm not going to say at the bottom, at the root of a lot of power of this planet. That's where a lot of things have been born from, stemmed from, stolen from, used, packaged up, and resold back to us. I could go on and on. Yes, I've done my studying. I've done my homework. But I won't get too far into that, because I'm focusing on the black frequency that a lot of my brothers and sisters have right now. And the frequency is becoming so great, all the fake Anglo-Saxons are falling off, because we have those too. Like I said, black is a frequency, not a color. And it's unfortunate, but let's keep it real. There are some of those that do have that color that don't have that frequency. And some of you'll hear me say, and I always say, the light will always expose the fake. So that's what leads me into how we stay with a lot of ways we can stay within our black frequency and know our true power and keep that righteous heart and be aware of unpredictable things that might try to pull you into a negative world. But when you got that black frequency, that frequency about you, that aura, that power, that light, you'll be able to see everything, and it will become hilarious. You know, just to see people. You ever like watch the world's stupidest criminals or something, and you watch them on the camera? It is hilarious to watch a person sneaking when they think no one's watching. And that's exactly what having that black frequency is all about. A lot of things tie into that frequency, and not everybody has it. And I don't know all, see y'all, but I'm definitely aware of my black frequency. And a way we can stay within our black frequency, at that high vibration that we carry. And for those that are just beginning, just coming into that new power and not, overstanding it. And I'm going to tell you one of the ways that you can stay within your frequency. We have to work on our language. And this is something I have to learn. Like I said, I will never teach or say anything that I haven't experienced. And one of those things that I see that a lot of us in the black community, some of us, not all of us, we make mistakes, our language. Because our language has a lot to do with our thought process. I always like to say, and I've heard this from, other brothers and sisters, how we treat others is a reflection of how we feel on the inside. And that has a lot to do with language. And it's words that I take out of my vocabulary and I will share with others that listen to me right now. Thank you, my soldiers and soldierettes. And one of those words, the first word on the list, is belief. Take belief out of your vocabulary, because belief is not truth or facts, because you can believe anything. And you have to be very careful of those who do believe everything. Okay, so take that out of your vocabulary. Fear, take that out of your vocabulary. Stress, take that out of your vocabulary. The word hard, dismiss it. Rough, dismiss it. Tough, dismiss it. That's connected to hard. These are part of our languages, words in our language that we can get rid of to get rid of that entity of doubt. There is no doubt. You have to be strong, but at the same time, aware and ready. Kind of like sitting with your hand on your chin, just watching. Like I said about the stupid criminal video. That's a frequency that those that are being fake and evil and want to keep chaos don't have. That's why they are chaotic. And I'm talking about the ones that with the same color, the ones that get drawn into money and sacrifice. It's all about money, and they stomping on the ones as they're going up. And I guess when you get trapped in materialistic items and things, and I guess you forget all morals, because I don't know what happened. But stick with your language, stick with your thoughts, focus on your actions. Don't react, assess. And it's another word that I want to talk about. Let's talk about the word Nigger. Now, I had this on the list, but I put a question mark by it. Because, especially our young youth, depending on what kind of individual you are, you have to kind of watch that word too. But I'm against it because I know where it comes from or what it represents. But you got to think about it, my brothers and sisters. It's kind of being thrown back into the individuals that came up with that word. Think about it. That's their payback. They came up with the word. We didn't make the word up. They made the word up. But with their manipulative tactics that they use, they throw it back at us and make us feel bad for saying it. We didn't invent the word. So I don't judge those. I don't condone it, but I don't judge those that do say it, because hey, that's kind of that's part of a law of attraction too. If you doing something intentionally bad to someone or people, and the law, and you don't know nothing about the law of attraction, you better learn, because it's gonna come back on you like karma and smack you in the face. So that's how I look at that Nigger word. And the reason why I spell it out, because I'm all about energy. And it still has a little bit of negative energy attached to it. And that's one of the reasons I don't say it. But I don't judge others that do. Because that's like I said, that's those that invented that word to hurt us. It's just a slap back in their face every time they hear it. They feel guilty when they hear it because they know what it means, So it is what it is. So I leave that word to the individual. It's up to them whether they use it or not. But I did put it on the list because we do have to work on our language, and this is very important. And this is something I have learned. It was a time when I was in my low vibration and I didn't pay attention to things like this. And it really does. And I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget them. I have a big thing with words. I am big on words. And like I just said, our language plays a very, very important part in our thought process. And it's also very important how we talk in front of children, because they are listening. Even when we think children aren't listening, they are listening. You got to remember, their receptors are open to everything, especially these days with all this Wi-Fi and these phones and all this stuff sends off signals. Even when we're in our sleep, we're still getting signals, and that's why we have to stay in tune with that black frequency, because we have the highest vibrational receptors. We can call down creativity from the universe at will anytime we want. We inherited that power from our great ancestors, and I see it. I see it every day, but you can't see it unless you I hate to say things over and over, sound like a broken record, but this is when you have learned something, you can't help but to keep saying it sometimes, because that's the only way you're gonna know. Is you'll hear this from me and many other brothers and sisters time and time again, because we know the only way you're gonna know your frequency is to go deep within and then work on the outer, and you'll be like, wow, I see clearly now, the crap is gone. Real talk. Get on the outside of that perimeter. Get out of your comfort zone. Work your power. Know your power. Don't be afraid of it, but contain it at the same time. Because sometimes when we see things, when we're not used to our new power, when we're not used to our new power and something miraculous happen, it can kind of overwhelm you. So, with great power comes great accountability and responsibility. So contain your power and stay within love. And always study and research and always look to go higher. Because my brothers and sisters, my family, my biological family, my online family, all brothers and sisters all over the world, whether they're aware of it or not, you have the most unique, powerful black frequency. And it's something that can't be seen with the eye. Only those that go within on a daily basis can sense each other's frequency. And I'm talking about a righteous frequency. Any other thing won't even get in, because that's another thing that our frequency will do. It will set up a shield and keep those off that don't mean well. And like a brother I listen to all the time. And before I talk about this brother, I want to mention my children. I always talk about my son. Like I said, I got 5 kids by 5 different mothers, and 2 are black. 2 of the mothers are black. 1 of the mothers are Mexican. No, 3 of the mothers are black. I'm sorry. And 1's Mexican, 1's white, But my frequency is so strong in my children. They have that frequency too. And, I still have respect for all their mothers, And that right there, that's my explanation of having that frequency. See, I know my frequency. And I never think I'm better than anyone. And if I do come to an individual, whether it's male or female, and they're not on my level, I don't show them up. I talk to them, listen to them. I use my frequency. And I don't lower myself, but I put myself in a position where I can understand where they're coming from, because I too have been there. I haven't always been at the level I'm at now. took some work, it took some soul searching, it took some studying, and it took patience, and it took humbleness to finally arrive at this frequency that I'm at. And it took listening to some hard advice from other brothers and sisters right here online. And I love being real like that. It's a true feeling. So keep righteousness attached to your black frequency for my brothers and my sisters, my soldiers and my soldierettes. And my frequency, and even when you leave a relationship, whether it's male or female, and you have children involved, stay attached to those children, because it's not the children's fault. And when you stay within your black frequency, it will show, and the children will see it. They'll sense it, especially if they're melanated. Anybody melanated has that frequency. I'm talking about a frequency no other culture has. And that's not to put them down, that's just facts. We have a frequency that no other culture has, and we need to know that and study that and embrace it and use it for the common good. Good will always overcome, and always has, always will, because the truth stands. A truth can stand alone if it has to, but a lie cannot. Always have to be attached to something, but it will never be attached to that good, hard, righteous, black frequency. And I'm still connected to my son and his siblings, even though my son don't stay with me and he stay with his mother. I still connect. I ate dinner with him, and haven't in a while, but I ate dinner with him yesterday. And I'm going to get into more. I'm going to come in light and have conversations with him and ask questions and say educational things. That's what having that black frequency is all about. We got to look beyond the things that's happening before us and take and rise beyond pettiness and truly see how we got to a challenge and why we're having that challenge. Analyze it, turn it around, and raise it to a higher vibration. And that's my positive thought, and that's my real thought. Know your true frequency. Remember, black is a frequency, not a color, my brothers and my sisters. And as I always say, I give thanks to my family. I give thanks to the soldiers and soldierettes that take the time to listen to EBS Cares. And I still send peace and love out to friends I have grown up with. Like I said, I didn't put that on the list, but we have to be careful with the friends. We need people that's family, that's brothers, that's sisters. We need that frequency. And to my brothers and sisters online that I listen to, thank you. I will always thank you for helping building this soldier before you. And I thank my brothers and sisters that take the time to listen. Take the time out of your day and listen to EBS Cares. And may everybody in my circle that's connected, may you all have peace wherever you are in your part of the world. And let's get it. Have a great, great, strong one.